Loud Boyz is a blood gang from Fresno, California. They are believed to be a set of Asian boys crip that became Bloods in the mid-1980s when they migrated to Fresno from Long Beach.
Fresno police, meantime, are now beefing up patrols in Southeast Fresno and even forming an Asian gang task force in response to Sunday's mass shooting. There had been as many as a dozen Asian gangs, and while founding members had been Hmong, Laotian, and Cambodian,
they rival with gangs such as the Bulldogs and Tiny Rascal Gang. In the 1980s, the Midwest became home to tens of thousands of Southeast Asian war refugees, especially from Laos. Minnesota, Minneapolis became home to one of the biggest Loud Boyz set. This story is about a Lao boy who escaped the Laos killing fields and how the cold street of Minnesota became his home.
States intervened here. At the time, the U.S. government did not acknowledge America's role. It was a secret war. And for years, the American people did not know. It made Laos per person the most heavily bombed country in history. As one Laotian said, the bombs fell like rain.
Born in the killing fields of Laos in 1977, Don and his family of 8 escaped the Vietnam War to the refugee camp in Thailand. In 1983, Don and his family set foot in the USA and was the first Asian family to be placed in the projects of Northside, Minneapolis, Minnesota. The housing projects consisted of mostly African Americans and the newly arrived refugees. Don adapted to the African American culture and had mostly all black friends and neighbors.
People mess at you when you were living in the projects? Is that
No,
what you learned?
I pretty had much black friends, you know, because ain't no Asian here when I came here. I just pretty much have black friends. Yeah, I get in a fight with black people sometimes, you know. Sometimes I cried, sometimes they cried, you know, same thing, you know, I was little.
Don's new friends would introduce him to the hip-hop culture. Don would fall in love with hip-hop after hearing artists such as NWA, DJ Quick, and Eazy-E. Don would also be introduced into street and gang culture. At the age of 14, Don joined one of the first Minneapolis Asian gangs called Loud Boyz.
You know, so he pretty got undercover cop, you know, come and ask us what, you know, you guys are Loud Boyz, you know, we know, you know.
At the age of 16, Don caught his first case. During a gang confrontation, Don gunned down 2 of his enemies. He was charged with 2 attempted murder in the first degree. Don went to trial and beat the case using self-defense as the cause. Don received 3 months house arrest and 5 years probation.
I stick on the middle finger, and then they followed me, so I was about to take them to the park where all my friends hang out. I thought my friends were all there, but they turned out to not be there, so I kind of stopped like right about here.
You were driving?
Yeah, driving, kind of stopped right about here. And I just asked them, what you guys want to do? You know, you guys got a problem and stuff? So they said, yeah. And then they said, so they started coming out their car and everything. And I just said, you better get back in your car, you know.
So it all happened here?
Yeah, all happened right here. They said, you better back in your car. So they didn't. So I just shot two times. And then I think one of them got shot. He was hollering, and then he told the driver to go. So they went, and I followed them down over there. Then they bust a left, right away. So I followed them to the highway. And after that, it was a split, so I went to my way.
He was originally charged with an assault charge too, because one of the other kids got hit in the leg. But that was dismissed basically because the victim didn't want to cooperate, wasn't going to show up for court, wasn't cooperating with the police. They couldn't find him, whatever. So they ended up dropping the assault charge, and he just got admitted to the discharging the firearm within the city limits.
Why did you shoot at them then?
They was about to jump me or something. They came out with a bat or a stick.
So you were afraid for your safety, or that?
For my safety.
You just want to scare them off, is that?
First is for my safety, you know.
And then you were angry?
If I was really mad, you know, I would have shot him in the head or something. but I pointed down on the ground, see, just to shoot them away, you know.
Normally, when a kid comes through the system, we see a progression where they might start out skipping school, then they might go into shoplifting, then they might go into a little bit more serious property crime, and then they kind of graduate to the more serious crimes. The pattern I've seen with Southeast Asian kids is they kind of skip that minor stuff and go to the serious stuff, the serious property offenses, stealing a lot of cars, weapons offenses. Most of the Southeast Asian kids I have dealt with have been involved in gangs, and that's usually their explanation or the reasoning is that they were with their gang friends.
When did you first start carrying a gun?
When I was 12, I was bullied by other people, you know, just because they're bigger than me, you know. And I kind of got like a high temper, you know, so I don't care how big they are, you know.
What you do when you're angry, other than just pulling a gun?
Yeah.
Can you
Fight.
walk away?
No, they'll follow you. Just trying to get a good job, you know. When I turn 18, you know, I want to have everything.
Unfortunately for Don, at the age of 18, he ran into another confrontation at a wedding where 3 people were shot near the Brooklyn Police Department. The incident made headline news, and Don posted a $10,000 bail. He would eventually take a plea bargain and served 5 months and 2 years on parole. During incarceration, Don's cellmate was a rapper who showed Don how to write rhymes and produce tracks. From this moment, Don would focus on music and money, opposed to chaos and thugging. In 1998, Gumby was born and the group Lao Felons was formed. Gumby would pursue a solo career and would become the first underground Asian artist to find success. His first album, Fast Life, would sell 8,000 copies. He would open for acts like MC Jin of Rough Riders. But what Gumby is most known for is being a pioneer for Southeast Asians in hip-hop and making money with his music. Gumby is an OG that all rappers collab with for notoriety and access to his fanbase. Gumby would go on to co-star in an independent film that was well received.
Bet.
All right, enough talking. Y'all go to Saginaw for Lao New Year, and we talk when you guys get back.
Bet.
Get a good job, you know. When I turn 18, you know, I want to have everything.
I'm a legend of you.